Can y'all hear me now? I've just been sitting here talking away for the last few minutes, just talking to myself. Been talking to myself, just talking away, not even realizing that y'all couldn't hear me until she said, "Has it not started yet?" And I was like, "Oh no." Okay, so we were finally, when YouTube paid this month, I was not I got like $120 check, and then with what everybody had given in super chats and stuff through the month, we were able to get a fairly nice Chromebook. So we did get a Chromebook. Yay! And I'm learning how to use it. So thank y'all very much. So we were able to meet our goals with that. I so much appreciate it, and everybody will benefit from it. But just bear with me to until I can figure out how to use it. Right. I appreciate all the little $5 donations and all the little 99 cent, all that through the month. It added up. It added up. And then what I made, with the YouTube money, we were able to get a little Chromebook. So we done good. Well, we've been trying for about 3 months over here to get enough money to get one. And last month I missed the payout by $6. I made $94 instead of the 100, so I didn't even get the payout. So this month we met our goals. So I was able to get the payout. So yay. So I went and got a little Chromebook. Now I just got to figure out how to use it. And I am so proud of it. It is, well, it's so much better than using that junky tablet that won't record half the time. Good morning, I'm just me. And I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit completely. And then after the all the YouTube money come in and everything, I was like, look, everybody's done come together. We got the money to buy a computer and everything. I can't quit on everybody now. So I went ahead and got the Chromebook. And just kind of took a break from YouTube and really try hard not to let people like that get to me. And that's all we can do, right? Because I think we all can agree that some people's attitudes here on YouTube just suck. And they will do whatever they can do to drag the rest of us down. I was on Gavel Geeks last night, so if y'all don't have anything else to do after a while, after this live is over, y'all can go catch Gavel Geeks. And I was on there for a couple hours last night. Right. Well, I always stayed over in mythology before Summer's case. And when my son was sick and everything, I always did mythology with him. And when I was like working around the house, I would leave the mythology running, telling him stories and stuff like that. But I got caught up in Summer's case, like right before he passed away. And then after he passed away, I was kind of wrapped up in her case. And that's how I kind of got sucked into it. And it gave me something to do besides sit and feel sorry for myself. And I don't regret that. It's kind of gave me something positive to do besides just tear myself and my world apart. So I'm not going to say that I totally regret getting involved with her case. But I did not realize how vicious this community could could actually get. I had no idea that I was always raised if you called somebody your friend, that was your friend. Whether it was an online friend, whether it was a telephone friend, whether it was a in-face friend, that was your friend and you treated them with respect. So, I considered a couple of those people that attacked me to be my friend. And it kind of it side blinded me because I wasn't expecting it. And I think that it hurt my feelings worse than anything, having to realize that there is no friends amongst creators around this place. That I was worth 200 clicks and views to that person. That was all my friendship was worth. And it is sad. Good morning, Sky. How are you? How have you been? So anyway, I told y'all that I would do mythology, and I will. We will do something to break the monotony in this case. But I wanted to do a live just to get caught up with you guys and touch base with you guys, and I will start doing a mythology video at least once a week, a nice, good, long one for you guys just to break away from true crime and stuff, just to get away. I think we all need to take a breather away from this occasionally, even if it's just an hour a week or 2 hours a week. It becomes draining. You know, when I was talking with Adrienne and Jenny last night, I caught something that I have missed that I have been looking at this whole time about the red truck in Beach Creek. On the TBI website, you know, where the questions and answers are at, where it says, have you talked to everybody in the area? And it says yes numerous times. And, you know, it tells you about the truck and the flower beds and everything. And it goes through all those questions. It tells you right there in that paragraph that nowhere in the Beach Creek or Ben Hill communities was that truck ever seen on any kind of surveillance. Think about that for a minute. That's really odd. So then you kind of have to question what we have been hearing coming out of the Jody Sue camp over there and all the misinformation, and then go back and wonder where exactly that lead for the TBI even come from to begin with. Because even the people on that road that had surveillance cameras pointed at the roads never caught that truck on surveillance. Not one time. Right. And I have been looking at that statement for 7 or 8 months now, and I have never noticed that it says plain as day right there. There's been no surveillance video, period. That might be why they're having such a hard time. No matter how many leads that is called in, they can pull over 25 trucks that are red with ladder racks. But if they have no proof that that is the red truck that was in the Ben Hill Beach Creek area that day, what can they really do about it? All that person has to say is, nope, wasn't me. If there really was a red truck in the area that day. I mean, really, I'm sorry, I'm taking my morning meds, guys. That's what you're hearing rattle over here is all these bottles. What can they do even if they pull over 12 trucks with ladder racks? All 12 people say, nope, wasn't me. Unless it has a little blonde-headed girl inside. I'm not sure what time it is here, but it's very, very early. Good morning, my small fries. And being in search and rescue, as long as I was, her story of getting in the creek to keep the scent down, or so she says. If a dog is given a scent of a person to track, nobody else's scent is going to interfere with what that dog smells. That dog is only going to smell what it has been given to track. Does that make sense? She says her first story was she got in the creek, or she pulled her sandals off. And she pulled them off because her papa, grandpa, whatever, had gave them to her and they were special to her. So she pulled her shoes off before she got in the creek. Well, somebody had confronted her about there being meth trash in the creek. Well, then her story changed to where she had her sandals on. She didn't pull her shoes off in the creek. So her story, she has adjusted her story to fit the narrative several times. And don't mistake me here. It's not that I am accusing her of doing anything to Summer. What I am accusing her of is lying and spreading tons of misinformation. What I am accusing her of is making it harder for anyone, including the investigators and the searchers from Jump Street, to help locate Summer, find Summer, or to get Summer any assistance whatsoever. That's what I'm accusing her of. Who would bring their big ass dog down to even interfere or even get close to search dogs? And for what reason? And I know she's probably lurking in my chat because I have said her or her name more than 3 times, like Beetlejuice. But shame on you, Jody C. Brown. Shame on you. I seen in someone else's chat that for the last few months that they have had that big mastiff tied in a barn on that property by itself. Why? And shame on you. Shame on you and Andy both. That is no way to even treat an animal. Having it chained up there by itself. And was it left up there to protect something? Morning, Leanne. Morning, Blue Willow. Morning, Sky Purple. Yeah, that's that big, black, mean dog. No, Sky Purple, really, there's nothing else that you've really missed. Well, still, even if they bred him with the Wells dogs, they're still going to be just mutts. Because if it's not a full blooded mastiff, it's not worth anything. Unless they're doing something nefarious with the dogs, like fighting them or something. But I've never seen the Wells dogs in that kind of shape. That would be very obvious, and it would have been very obvious to the Humane Society when they picked them up. You can't miss injuries like that. I've not heard anything about the pit bull. The only one I heard about was the mastiff being chained up there by himself in the barn. That would be an idea, Sky Purple, but Ronnie Lawson has already said if anybody comes there starting trouble that he will arrest everybody and put them in jail. Or so I heard. I did not hear that myself, but that's what I have heard through the grapevine. Which I think is pretty sorry in itself that he can't go out and arrest criminals, but he can go out and arrest protesters. But, that's all beside the point. I think one big, massive, huge protest should be formed, but not on Summer's Vigil Day. I don't think that it should be done on the same day that we're trying to honor her. I think that should be done in two totally different days. Everybody that's going to go to her vigil needs to go to her vigil and be very respectful and try very hard to get along with everybody else and turn around and go back home and then go back on a different day and do whatever from there. But this is it. I agree. It's look, this is the only child that I know of that the police has ever said, don't look for. We don't want you searching for her. We don't want anybody to look for her. It's almost like they're afraid they're going to find her. And it's going to cost the city and the state and the county a whole bunch of money for trials that they don't have. And that's sad. Go back through every missing child that you can think of and see how many times the police has said, we don't want the public's assistance. We do not want you searching for them. We do not want a search party. We we don't want anybody to look for her. It's all been very odd. Never in my life have I seen such craziness. Well, if Ronnie Lawson would use his brain for something, he could seize the bank accounts of every one of these folks that is running scams that's local to that area and freeze their assets and everything else. So if it was just about the money, you would think he would go after everybody and everything. Something I would like to find out more about, though, I just don't know who to ask or how to find out about it. You know, um, Jody Sue was pretty adamant in the beginning of this thing about her in laws, and Andy in the police department was blaming her for putting the pictures on that police officer's computer at work. Y'all remember that? Randy Hass's computer. The Hawkins County police officer just so happened to be Andy's cousin, too. I wonder how they figured that she done that. Through a drive or a Dropbox or a OneDrive, a iCloud. I'm just wondering how they think she might have committed that crime. That would be kind of interesting to hear about. Because I'm beginning to wonder if setting people up is not part of her MO. Well, not only does the right dogs have to be used, but they have to be given the right scent. And I don't know if there was anything in that house that was 100% Summers. They shared everything. I believe they said even the shoes were hand me downs. And, if I remember right, her shoes she had went swimming in that day. So was even her scent 100% reliably hers? Honestly, I mean, let's just get downright real about it. Candace had already sold a lot of her toys and stuff. No, and all of her all of I, I say her property, but it's Polly's property. All that property was not searched either. I've got a video up that I done some weeks back that's in her own words of what they searched and what they didn't search. At Jody Sue's. And that was in her own words. And I don't remember now exactly what all it was or wasn't. You just have to go back and watch the video. I made two or three more levels of membership too, starting at 99 cents. One level's 99 cents, one's $1.99, one's $2.99, I think, and it goes up to like $4.99. If you're interested in the membership, each level does different things. You can go over to where the community tab post is at, and I think you go to the about section. or channel section. I forget exactly where it's at, but it's in one of those little tabs right there. And the membership link is right there. I don't know how to put it up yet in here in this Chromebook, or I would. And I think Jenny and Adrian said that in order for EquiSearch to come back, there has to be 3 clear leads, 3 reliable leads that says that she's in an area. And I don't know if that's because of the way EquiSearch was treated, or why those rules went up with EquiSearch. Awesome. Thank you, McBro. I appreciate you becoming a member. That helps the channel out, and that'll help get the good video editing software. That's our next goal, is better software. Or not software, the apps. No, you guys are awesome, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would be sitting here talking to myself. It's bad enough I have to walk around and think to myself. If I had to talk to myself too, I would just have to go get some medication or something. I think that Greene or Washington County is right there on the Sullivan and Hawkins County line too. It's Washington County. I talked to Miss Cookie in here too, and she answers back sometimes. So we're good on the dog part. Well, let me put this out. Anybody who is planning on going to that vigil, make sure that you rent a place where you can prepare food in your room, or you're eating in a place where you can watch them prepare the food. For the reason, if you remember when Dolly Vision went down, Jody Sue made the threat of her friends working in a Waffle House and that he would be poisoned if he stopped there. Well, a lot of people know that a lot of people's going to be there for the Summer Wells Vigil. A lot of people work in fast food. A lot of people work. I would just personally be very careful And I would be very careful to drink out of a bottle that has a lid on it. And that's just advice coming from an EMT that has worked protests and things like that before in the past, that has seen things like that happen. Eat with your group, stay with your group. Don't trust local people with your food and your drinks. You don't think people would be like that? Morning, Avery's mom. Oh, I would drink out of a 20-ounce bottle. I just would not drink out of like a open glass of tea or anything and then get up and walk away from it. Oh, I don't doubt that there's a whole lot of good people there. The cats meow. And I have been there a couple of times. Um, and nobody even know that I have been there. And I've not had any problems. But I know that there's, a handful that's like Jody Sue, and she did threaten with her friends that worked at Waffle House. She did threaten um, that one guy that was down at Dolly Vision. Yeah, Jody Sue's about the only one stupid enough that keeps running her mouth. She don't know when to shut up. It's like what she said about Jose, about whatever she said about, I can't wait for him to disappear. Well, guess what? He disappeared. And the other guy, that Jerry McLean or whatever, that overdosed and stuff, I seen that him and his brother David were friends with Polly Bernard on her Facebook. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I hope that um, the supply wasn't poisoned or something there. Because it seems like there's, because Don blamed him in December. Don pointed the finger at him in December, and he died in February with a heroin overdose. Yeah. Right. And it just don't look good when people start dying. Right, Smiley? Me too. It's a real small community here. I mean, I'm just like right on the line, the Alabama and Tennessee line. And I've lived in both places. I have lived Tennessee and Alabama, Georgia. We left the racetrack up here one night and it was real late. And they had some kids working up here at this Waffle House. And it was like 2:30 in the morning. And they had broke one of those white ceramic plates and we didn't know anything about it. And we ordered breakfast and we was sitting there eating, and the guy that I was eating with, he bit down on something, and they had cleaned all around the grill, but they didn't clean the grill itself, and he had got some bits of that white ceramic plate in his potatoes. I was like, oh my goodness. And they were like, well, we thought we got it all cleaned up without breaking the grill down. But they were real young kids. So. That was the last time I ate at the Waffle House. And I used to love it too, but after that, it kind of makes you not want to go in there. But sometimes you can't help it. You don't have any choice because that's really the only thing that's open late in this little town. I had a little I guess he was about 4 years old. A little 4-year-old boy tried to buy my drink. And he said, drink. He was going to buy my drink last night at the Circle K. And it was so cute, y'all. Such a little respectable little boy. I was waiting in line, and I had a fountain drink in my hand. And he come up, he was wearing his little John Deere boots. And he looked at me and he said, I like your boots. So I looked at him and I said, well, I like your boots too. And he looked at his mom and he said, I'm going to buy her drink. And I laughed and I said, well, how about I just buy all your candy you got in your hand? And he said, well, okay. And he put his candy up on the counter, and it just made his day that I paid for all his candy. And it tickled me that I was able to, just make him smile. Ever since I've lost mine, it just anything I can do to get a smile out of a kid like that just tickles me. But I thought that was so cute. He said, I like your boots, and I'm gonna buy your drink. He was just cute as a little bug in a rug. I mean, he was just a doll. And I thought, well, how many little kids do you ever see that's not real stingy with their money, that's just willing to buy a stranger's drink? I'm going to buy her drink. Her drink. Even my kids were always stingy with their money. They were going to buy just their own, candy, and it was going to be for them, 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 them. Well, I've got one little grandson. He's not big enough to walk in his boots yet, but as soon as he is, we'll make sure he's got him a little pair of them John Deere boots. Oh man, I know. A 20-year-old daughter of mine, she hadn't been married a year yet, but even though she's married, she still thinks, it's all about her, 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 her. I'm supposed to buy her everything still too. I have to tell her all the time she's not my responsibility anymore, but I do it anyway. Oh, thank you. I've seen little kids like that was always worried about whether your feet was cold. I don't, I don't know why, but I have seen a couple like that, Leanne. Probably because that's one of the things that wakes them up when they're little is when their feet gets cold. So they don't want your feet to get cold. I I feel the same way about y'all guys. My regular ones that's always in here. I just talk to y'all like I do my friends, on the phone. I think about y'all like I do my friends and my family that I talk to on the phone. That's why I tell y'all about the silly stuff too, just like I do. Talk to you about everything. I missed my um, lupus infusion last week, and I've got to go at 11 o'clock and have that done today. so I don't get feeling real bad. Hey, Darlene, how are you? It's good to see you. How have you been? I'm doing fairly well. Finer than a frog's hair split three ways. It is a mixture of, give me just a minute and I'll think of it. It's the IV infusion of, give me just a minute and think of it and I'll tell you. Uh, uh, uh. Gosh. I don't remember. I'll think of it in a minute. It's a RA medicine and a lupus medicine mixed together, and they just give it to me every 4 weeks through an IV. I'll tell you the name of it in a minute. It'll come to me. I don't know why I forgot it. One of them is Remicade, and the other is, I don't think it's Inflectra. I think it's something else. But it's something very similar. Well, they are in a lot of states. That was one of the things that, I was going through last week. Um, yeah, I'm not going to go getting all into that, but it's in Alabama. Paramedics fall into the same category as a police officer, so you have to be very careful when you're doing any kind of harassing or what they call menacing or anything like that. For sure. Because it could affect, um, what if I had a patient with me when somebody decided to start yelling and screaming or attacking? Or what if, a patient had seen all this negative stuff online and just decided to deny life saving treatment. I didn't decide to put that negative stuff online. Somebody else decided to put that negative stuff online for me. Yeah, and what it says is what a reasonable person. And I consider myself a reasonable person. So, yeah, you have to be real careful about things like that. She can go into other under different names, but her IP address stays the same. Yeah, you can change your name, but you can't change your IP address. People have way too much faith in those VPNs when it comes to police and government. It's gonna seem real cool to her until she gets caught doing it. When they pinpoint it right back to her address. Because it's like they told me, there's no such thing as a burner phone anymore. When every phone started coming standard equipped with Bluetooth and Wi Fi, there was no such thing as a true burner phone anymore. The day that they stopped making a cell phone that only text and made calls, that was the last days of a true burner phone. When a cell phone can keep up with your every movement because you have cell data, you've got Bluetooth data, you have Wi Fi data, there's no such thing as a burner phone. And that's exactly what they told me when I was sitting at the police station last week. Hey, dodging bullets. The definition of a burner phone is one that cannot be traced or tracked. And you cannot buy a phone that cannot be traced or tracked anymore. Walk in the Walmart and ask them for one that you do not have to register, trace, that can't be traced or tracked. And they'll tell you there's no such thing as one anymore. Even your Verizon phones, your Straight Talk phones, all that stuff, you've got to have an email address to register it. You've got to do this, do that. It's still somehow registered, and it has cell phone data, it has Wi-Fi data, and it has Bluetooth data. Yeah, I suspected I had one too, and when I went and got this one, I left my tablet at the police station. So I understand. What do they expect to find in your phones? I mean, why do they keep hacking your phones? I mean, it's like what I told my lawyer. I said, there's nothing in here that would even concern them. I don't know what they're looking for. All right, dodging bullets. Be good. Ah, gotcha. I don't understand why the FBI has not done took this case over. Summer does not even have a link with the FBI. There's no way to leave a tip with the FBI. And I don't understand that. And for anybody that doesn't know the difference, the TBI is a state agency, and there is a difference in the TBI and the FBI. I don't have PayPal anymore. I closed my PayPal last Thursday. So don't send anything to my PayPal for sure. No, I don't have a PO box. I People have called. There's been an online petition. I don't know what else to do. I Well, what you're going to find is it's going to involve people that's pretty high up on the chain. And if you remember, one of the first people that went down in his thing was a master sergeant for the Tennessee National Guard. And then it was a pastor, or, well, he was a pastor, but he was a chaplain in the Tennessee National Guard. Right, McBro, but they don't seem to be doing anything. Man, she ain't missing. She's gosh, before I took my vacation, I knew where she was at. Somebody told me where she was at. I done forgot. Ernie's girlfriend. She's with her. Yep. Hey, Izzy. I hate Ernie Shill. And then Tina was going to talk some crap about me the other day, talking about I sit and dug up ancestry, and she asked everybody, "Well, do you keep up with your aunts and cousins and stuff?" And if you're listening to Valkyrie, then all you're doing is listening to somebody who sits and reads crap off of Ancestry. And I'm like, man, I ain't never looked at Ancestry as long as I've been in this case. But let me tell you something. Uh, y'all better be listening if you know that many people connected in the Summer Wells case, that's that closely related to each other, that's this closely involved in this case. You better be listening. But yet she keeps packing that many people in that keeps believing her, and it just bumfuzzles me that people still go over there and listen to that BS and listen to her tell that she don't know nothing about her niece being married to Brad with Sean. But she didn't say, she did not deny any of the part of it. She did not deny that they owned that hemp company and that the Smoky Mountain Hemp Cafe was getting their supply from Brad Washawn and Kayla Simmerly. She did not deny that. I don't know her at all. I had never heard of them people until this case. But it don't take a rocket scientist to start putting it all together. And that there's something wrong here. No, Brad and Kayla, Kayla Simmerly is married to Brad Rashawn. They own the supply chain, International Hemp Company. And they are the ones that is supplying the hemp to the Smoky Mountain Hemp Cafe. Well, Brad 423 Chase's son is the one that's married to Kayla Simmerly, and it's in their name. So I don't guess it matters either way. Exactly, cotton candy. Let me ask y'all something. If, say, this YouTube community was helping you with your domestic violence situation, and they were arranging for you to get hotel rooms and stuff and whatever they were doing, but they were helping you. And I'm not sure to the extent, I wasn't involved with it, so I don't know to what extent that they were helping her. I just know that at the time they were helping her. And then somebody goes to move you to make sure that you're moved safely from this domestic violence situation to the hotel, right? Now, if a couple of years before that in your community, a big drug bust happens, and you know that a bunch of people ratted on each other and a bunch of crap went down and it wasn't good, and it caused a big blow up in the community, and you know this, right? Say that one of these people show up at your door from your said community with 423 Chase, and you know both of these people. Would you not go back and say something to the YouTube community and say, hey, wait a minute, something's not right here? I know these two clowns. Or would you just get in the car with them and leave and hope for the best? because that's what happened when Jody Sue starts telling y'all this story about the woman that shows up at the hotel room and her hair's wet and her shoes are too big. And she says, and I've seen this woman before. She has seen her before. She's from the Beach Creek community. I know who she is. But my question to Jody Sue is, Jody Sue, you goofy, why didn't you go back and tell Penny and Scott, wait a minute, I know these clowns, and put some brakes on it right then. But because you didn't, that says a whole lot about who you are. If you don't tell these people who it was, there's three or four of us that do know, and somebody's going to eventually tell it. And it wasn't no Stacy whoever. Because she can sit and tell everything else, she needs to tell the truth too. Are you serious, Sky? Everybody needs to go hit that like button. She'll be back in. Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, I heard that recording. But it seems like, when CPS goes out there, that they don't ever get to talk to those kids by themselves. She's always right there up underneath them. Why would a light be with 423 Chase? At Jody Sue's hotel room. Jody Sue Brown? I didn't say male or female, I just said a light. There's a whole lot more to her fake Fed story bullshit than what she tells. Y'all need to go ask her about that. Oh, I understand. I understand. But she'll get the message. Bye, Lynn. All this crap's about to stop. Exactly, Izzy Rose. But guys, I have to start getting ready for a doctor's appointment myself. And yeah, that's the little nugget for today. Or at least this morning. It was good to see you too. And I love you all. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I will try and do another stream this afternoon after I get back from the doctor. Oh, yes, she did. I have got tons and tons of her harassing him. I am just choosing not to put it up at this point in time because I have got other things to worry about with her, like this that I've got right now. I've just got other people to talk to about it first. But I love you guys, and y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. Don't forget about the memberships if y'all are interested. They start at 99 cents. Catch you guys later.